Obviously, congratulations to Notre Dame. I'd say they have a lot to do with what I'm at fault for as far as decision making, and the job of a coach is once the game starts, put your guys in a good position to succeed. And I didn't do that. But this is a job that requires big boy decisions, and they come at high stakes when you play in our league or you get into the postseason. A lot of that was discomfort from things we saw out of Notre Dame. So, again, a credit to them. And then, two, you got to execute. So they did that throughout the weekend. I thought our guys played good defense. And obviously we kind of did some damage yesterday on the scoreboard. But that'll stick with me. Notre Dame will get to go to Omaha and enjoy that and probably do some damage. It's a really tough group. And I think what needs to stick with our guys once time passes, which they say time heals all wounds. I don't know who they are, because sometimes those take a long time. But 57, that's a lot. That's a lot. A team that, bunch of good kids, a couple maniacs out there, but accused of bats. I've never seen a kid accused of doctoring a ball, accused of doing the Astros and banging on the bench. There's other. Accused of signaling 3-3, and that's supposed to be the double bird. A lot of that stuff was just, because of how dynamic they were as a group and what they accomplished. And they did some extraordinary things. And really, it was just kind of like yesterday. You slide Trey Lipscomb into the 4-hole, Drew Gilbert's out, and gets an RBI in the first inning. That obviously is not the most important play of the weekend, but it's one, to me, that defines this group of a bunch of guys that got each other's back.
Questions, we'll start with Ben in the back.
Tony, it just kind of seemed at different moments all throughout the weekend, just outside of yesterday's game, something wasn't crisp, whether it's defense, pitching, hitting. Just can you put your thumb on maybe what went wrong in general this weekend?
No, I think there's a couple of occasions. It's obviously emotional, and our guys have their thoughts on Nebraska, which is what all kids do at this time of the year, really, all kids just in general. And so I think we got stunned a couple times. That's nothing new in my opinion. So when that happened, maybe some things showed up that you saw that weren't crisp. But overall, I thought our guys had good vibes all weekend long for majority of the time, and we played a really good opponent. And you just kind of knew it today was going to come down to the ninth. I think with my interference, it started earlier than that, but you knew it was going to kind of come down to the end there. So it's going to be hard fought, whoever won.
Mike, then Ryan.
For the players, what was Coach's post-game message to you guys? And then I know it's immediately after, but what do you think of kind of off the jump as the legacy and the things that will be remembered about this team?
Yeah, he just told us that what we did this season was absolutely amazing, and we should never forget or feel bad about how far we've come. And he said that we put him in a really good position to keep this dynasty going. And you can see that there's so much emotion within that group of guys because everyone loves everyone. Everyone's such a good guy, and then you got him, and he's the most passionate one of the bunch, and you just want to go to war with him and every single one around you. But it's just a fantastic team and absolutely unforgettable one.
Yeah, just off of that, just he always has our back, and it's been like that from day one. And me and Luke were, I think, the last two kids to commit in our class, and probably shouldn't have even played here. And that guy over there, for some reason, gave us a shot, and we've just been able to play and be in big opportunities and kind of turn the program around. And just from that, I can't thank him enough, the coaching staff enough, my teammates. You can see the years go on, and teams get closer and closer the better you are. And this year, man, it's going to be the hardest one to leave. Those guys are unbelievable. Everybody on that team, pitching-wise, is more talented than me, so it's going to be fun to watch them pitch for many years after. But it's just unbelievable season. It's a tough one to end, but it's one of those things. Just exciting to see where those people go next year and just what's next for them.
Tony, what went into the decision to leave Burns in there to try to get out of seventh?
Just the fact he had gotten their best hitter out. Jack is Jack's a special kid. I mean, you can see that. He's pretty damn annoying if you're on the other side, but he's that for a reason. And he gets him out, so now we're 1 out away. And, I've played at a couple other fields too where it's got that quirky. I mean, Lamanna certainly squared it up, but you kind of got that quirky angle down in the right field corner where it goes if it goes. And, see the foul home run against Brannigan, maybe you'd make the pitching change in the middle of that bat would have been wise. But I think Chase wanted the ball. He certainly took ownership of the game. Felt good about the matchup against Lamanna, but should have taken him out there before, in particular after the foul home run, although normally you see that, and what usually ends up happening, you strike out as a hitter on the foul double or foul home run. But kudos to him. He smoked 2 balls, and it wasn't light. Chase wasn't on the mat. I mean, I think it was 97 on the radar gun or something like that, and the pitch before was certainly a ball, but it was a pretty crisp 0-2 pitch that, you'd like to see the guy swing and miss, or if it's a little closer to the plate, maybe you get a borderline strike call.
To the back with Joe and Paige.
Tony, is that what you were referencing at the beginning there when you said, you didn't put the guys in position?
I think
that particular decision.
I think just in general, the last 3 innings.
For the players, this is a year where both of you found yourselves in the record books, and this is the last time you wear that Tennessee jersey. What has this season meant to the both of you?
I think personally, I can't speak for him, but for me, the records don't mean near as much as just the relationships and those guys out there. I'd give up every save just to have one more game with them or one more practice with them, just to have another day where we can go out and just be a team and just know that baseball's in front of us, that nothing is left behind us. So, I think it's cool, the records and stuff, but in the end of things, I'd give one more day, or give up my records to have one more day with them.
Yeah, I think he said it all. The records are whatever, but it's just this group of guys that was one of my favorites of all time, and that's the hardest thing to give up, and it's really hard to believe it's over. And that's the great thing about being on a team like this is the relationships you have are never over. And so I know I got their back. I know they got mine. And we'll be in contact, and I can't wait to follow all of their great careers.
Reese, then Wes.
Luke, I saw you take a big deep breath right there. I guess what was behind letting it out right there, I guess?
I don't think I've fully processed that this is it yet, and it's going to take some time, but it's definitely emotional and just a lot to think about. It's heavy.
Wes.
Tony, there were so many times this season where even when things didn't go right, the team kind of fought back and responded. With everything on the line today, those final couple of innings, did you think the guys got affected at all, or was it just things didn't go right?
It's in the back of your mind, otherwise you're not human, and maybe got over aggressive in one situation, but I think it was a difficult day to score runs. Their number says otherwise, but it truly was. And we did get to the lefty on Friday, I think, for 1 run, but we didn't really have an answer for that. And part of it is he threw the ball really well, but that's all I got.
Al and Ryan.
To follow up on that, Coach, what made Finley so effective today?
I think he's pretty good at stretching the plate. He did that a little bit on Friday, but also, if I'm correct, off-speed command hadn't been that great in the past, but today it was. And again, I think a difficult day to score runs, and his biggest key probably was when guys get on base or we were starting to build something, it got cut off pretty quick.
Yeah, same question, Luke. Just what made Finley so effective?
He was just really good today. His fastball was moving and he was putting it where he wanted to. And he was just keeping us off balance. Kudos to them. They have a really great staff, a really great team. And he was just on today. And whatever he was doing, it was working against us. I don't think it was much of an approach deal. I think he got us out.
Any other questions? John.
Tony, I think it was in the 3rd inning maybe where umpires first talked to Link Jarrett and then came over and asked you to come out of the dugout and spoke with you as well. What was that about? What was their message to you at that time?
That there was a warning for bench jockeying. So I don't know if it started with the play at third. I mean, you got their guy running around like a madman trying to stretch, the whole thing, and he got the second, and he almost got the third, and so I don't know if it was from that collision or, Rayo was throwing the ball well and struck one of our guys out and told him to sit down. I mean, during the regular season, that's what goes on. I mean, if you do something well, and there's a lot of emotion into it, which probably if you do something well, it's really important to you. So that's kind of stuff that comes out. And when you do something like he did or other guys in that situation, you've earned the right to say that stuff. And then it's up to us to try and respond back and see if we can get to the guy. So I don't know if that started it. That's just kind of my philosophy on some of the extra stuff. It was, again, I'm disappointed in myself, but it was nice that the game was decided on the field. And for many reasons, they were the better team today.
Last two questions, Tim and then Mike.
With all of Frank's experience with the pitching staff, were you kind of missing him a little bit the last couple of days?
Coach Elander, this guy doesn't know that, but, Simon's got an incredible arm, probably pitching the big leagues, but command hasn't been that great. So call him over and say, hey, with Seth, let's definitely take, in a certain situation. I said, what about Luke if he goes 1-0? And he said no, because if, he gets it in one spot, Luke may get him. Look what happened. So now, no one out there is a baseball, guru that much, but to hit the nail on the head every time. But I'm just trying to express to you how good Coach Elander is at managing the game. And if you look at the situations where he's been put in charge of anything, including our recruiting, it's gone really, really well. So I don't mean to discredit Frank, but I think a lot of Frank's genius is the time he spends with pitchers, building relationships up in the office, adjustments he makes with them individually down in the bullpen, and then, on game day, it's just his competitiveness, certainly a lot of experience and knowledge. But again, if it's important to you, everybody will know. And unfortunately, we didn't have him because that competitiveness spilled over a little bit. But if you look at the resume, it's working out pretty good for that guy. But again, I just think Coach Elander is so good, he could run the whole team, and we could disappear for a few weeks if we wanted to, and he would do well.
We'll finish with Mike.
Tony, I know you've talked in the past about some teams you've coached and worked with that were upset and had a lot of opportunities to go to Omaha and win the thing. How hard is it for this team to not get that opportunity?
Yeah, it's the way that it goes. It's not easy, and I'm glad you asked the question. And I don't know how I'm doing up here. Probably some people think good, some people think bad. Everyone's got an opinion on everything, which is fair play to them. But it's hard. It's not. I'm searching for the right way to send it to not offend anybody. But I've had people that have played baseball. Can't wait to see in Omaha. Made reservations in Omaha. This is not easy. Ask Notre Dame. They came up short last year. This year they did not. I'm sure it drove them like crazy. Maybe that gave them a little edge in Friday's game. I would like to make it automatic. I'd like to be able to recruit that well. I certainly can't coach that well that it is automatic, but ask any team in the country that gets there or has ever played there or has ever come up short. It is not automatic. So I don't think anyone had that in their mind because of what our accomplishments were. They've just been such a good group about tackling the next thing. And I think the fact they came up short today, knowing their character, and I hate to speak for them, I'll end my long answer here. I think this group is really good, and one reason why is because they'll be more upset about coming up short today, whereas you guys will fairly write about didn't make it to this spot or didn't carry on or didn't win a national championship, which was, in my opinion, far from our mind. So I think it's one of the reasons they've been impressive. But said it on Friday or Saturday, it's chaos for good reason.